Have you ever been just staring down a tough math equation or maybe a really stubborn coding bug or even just, a creative block and felt like you're completely stuck, like your brain just hit a wall?
Oh, absolutely. That feeling is universal, I think.
It really is. And here's the thing. It's almost never about lacking intelligence, right?
hmm
It's often just missing maybe a powerful technique.
That's usually it. A different approach.
Exactly. So today we're diving deep into exactly that. It's a strategy called pattern paragraph learning.
Right.
It's this, brilliant way to turn solved examples into these like mental templates you can reuse.
Yeah, templates is a good word for it.
And what's really fascinating is how common it already is kind of under the radar.
Mm.
Think about chess grandmasters, top coders, math prodigies.
Musicians, artists
Right.
today.
They're all using something like this, even if they don't call it that or, teach it formally. It's like this hidden skill.
Hiding in plain sight. And that's really our mission for this deep dive, isn't it? We want to unpack pattern paragraph learning. Define it clearly. Look at the cognitive science behind why it's just so effective. And most importantly, give you actionable steps, things you can actually do to start using it yourself.
So you can really transform how you tackle problems.
Exactly. Make those stuck moments, less frequent, hopefully.
Okay, so it sounds pretty fundamental, less like a trick and more like, I don't know, upgrading your brain's operating system.
Yeah, it can feel a bit like that.
So what is pattern paragraph learning? Like in the simplest terms.
Okay, simply put, imagine you could memorize common solutions to problems, but like the way you might memorize a key paragraph in a story.
Okay.
Or maybe a specific line from a poem you like. You're not just understanding the solution right then, you're committing its core logic, its pattern to memory.
Gotcha. So say I'm trying to get better at JavaScript or maybe tackle a certain kind of math problem. What does that actually look like day to day?
Right, so the process. First, you actively search for popular problems, or common ones, maybe even notoriously hard ones in your field.
Okay, find the good examples.
Yep. Then you use whatever resources you have, YouTube videos, ChatGPT, textbooks, tutorials, anything to really learn how to solve them, understand the steps.
Understand it, not just copy it.
Crucial difference. Then comes the key part. You memorize that solution's logic. You treat the steps or the core idea as kind of paragraph.
Like a mental note.
A very structured mental note, yeah. And finally, you have to review these memorized solutions regularly. Keep them fresh.
So they're actually accessible when you need them.
Exactly, because the practical benefit is huge. When you face a new problem, maybe something unfamiliar, these memorized solutions aren't just sitting there. They act like mental formulas or tools in your toolkit.
Okay.
They guide your brain, give you ideas, directions. So your brain connects the new problem with a pattern it's already seen. You're not starting from absolute scratch every single time.
You're not reinventing the wheel. You're grabbing the right wrench.
Precisely. You've got a well-stocked toolbox ready to go.
That mental toolkit idea really resonates. Yeah. And you mentioned the science. The source material apparently dives into the cognitive reasons why this works so well, why it's not just, a clever study habit.
Absolutely. It taps right into how our brains are wired. There are 3 main principles from cognitive science that explain it.
Okay, what are they?
First, there's chunking. Our brains naturally group information into chunks to remember it better.
Like a phone number, right? You don't remember 10 digits. You remember like 3 chunks.
Exactly. Or a sentence, or dance steps. Pattern paragraph learning helps you build these complex chunks specifically for problem solving. You're feeding your brain manageable, pre-digested units.
Okay, chunking. What's next?
Second is something called the worked example effect. Cognitive scientists have found, pretty consistently, that we learn faster and better by studying solved examples first.
Instead of just jumping straight into practice problems.
Right. Studying the worked-out solution reduces the mental effort, the cognitive load, and crucially, it shows you the step-by-step reasoning. You see the path. So you're not just guessing your way through.
Exactly. And the third one is analogical reasoning. Our brains are analogy machines.
We're always comparing things.
Constantly. When you face a new challenge, your brain automatically starts searching for similar things in your past experience. By memorizing these solution patterns, you're basically giving your brain a richer library of experiences to draw analogies from. You're building up its database.
So it gets better at spotting those connections in new situations.
Precisely. You're priming it to find solutions.
That all clicks together really well. It makes me think, though, are there any, potential downsides? Could focusing too much on memorizing patterns make you, less creative, or maybe less flexible when something truly new comes along?
That's a really important question. And the key is, it's not about blind memorization. It's about understanding the pattern deeply first, and then committing that understanding to memory.
Ah, okay. Understanding first. Right. When you do that, it actually boosts flexibility because it frees up your mental bandwidth. You're not getting bogged down in the basic mechanics anymore.
So your brain can focus on the tricky, novel parts.
Exactly. It can dedicate processing power to figuring out how to adapt a pattern or maybe combine 2 or 3 patterns creatively. It's about building a really solid foundation, not putting up walls.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's make this really concrete. Can we look at some examples? Seeing it in action always helps things click.
Definitely. Let's start with something probably familiar to a lot of people. Basic algebra.
Okay.
Imagine the problem. By 2 plus 5x plus 6 plus 6, 0.
Classic quadratic.
Right. The pattern paragraph you'd memorize for this type of problem might be something like, look for 2 numbers that multiply to the constant 6 and add to the middle coefficient 5. Factor it into x plus 2, x plus 3 equals 0. So x factors 2, x would 8 or 3.
Simple, direct steps.
Exactly. And the payoff is obvious. The next time you see that kind of quadratic, you don't have to dredge up factoring rules from the depths of your memory.
The pattern is just there, ready to go.
It provides that clear path straight away.
Okay, the algebra example really works well for structured problems.
Yeah.
But what about other fields? You mentioned coding. How does this apply there? I remember trying to reverse a string in JavaScript for the first time, fumbling with loops,
Oh, yeah.
and then seeing the elegant one-liner solution felt like magic. Is that the kind of thing we're talking about?
That's a perfect example. So, JavaScript logic. You're struggling to reverse a string. The solution, once you learn it, is pretty neat. Function reverse string substr return str dot split.
Right. Split, reverse, join.
Yeah.
That's your pattern paragraph. Split the string into an array of characters, reverse the array, then join it back into a string.
Okay.
By really internalizing that logic, that pattern, your brain is now prepped for other problems, like maybe checking if a string is a palindrome.
Because reversing is half the battle for a palindrome check.
Exactly. You have a huge head start because a core piece of the solution is already locked in your memory. It's a foundational building block. So it seems like experts in lots of fields are kind of doing this already, maybe instinctively.
Absolutely. It's fascinating when you start looking for it. Think about chess players. They're not calculating every single possible move from scratch.
No way, that's impossible.
Right. They memorize thousands of board patterns, common openings, endgame positions. They recognize a situation and instantly know the associated strong moves or ideas. It's pattern recognition.
And musicians, you mentioned them earlier.
Yeah, musicians do it constantly. They learn and memorize common musical phrases, licks, they often call them. And then they weave these memorized licks together, modify them to improvise solos or create new melodies. They're remixing patterns.
That makes sense. And coders.
Coders are probably the most obvious example in some ways. They constantly reuse code snippets, design patterns, common algorithms.
Yeah, you see libraries and frameworks built around these patterns.
Exactly. Stack Overflow is basically a giant database of pattern paragraphs for coding. And even think about students when they study model answers for essays or math problems.
You mean like copying the structure?
Yeah, consciously or subconsciously, they're often trying to internalize the pattern of a good answer. The structure, the key arguments, the way it's reasoned out, it's all pattern learning.
Wow. So it really is happening everywhere. It's this powerful technique, but just unnamed, mostly.
Pretty much.
And you, listening right now, you could be the one to really master this consciously, make it a teachable skill. Okay, theory is great, examples help, but let's get practical. For someone listening now thinking, okay, I want to try this, what are the actual first steps? How do you start building this library?
It's actually pretty straightforward. You can start today. There are basically 6 steps.
Okay, lay them on us.
First, search. Find those famous, common, or challenging problems in your specific area. Don't just stick to the easy stuff. The tricky ones make for powerful patterns.
Go for the classics, the hard ones.
Yeah.
Got it. Step 2.
Second, learn. Use whatever tools work for you. AI, videos, books, mentors to truly understand how to solve these problems. Focus on the logic, not just the answer.
Deep understanding. Okay. Third.
Third, write. Write down the solution, but in your own words. Make it a short, concise paragraph summarizing the core logic or steps. This act of summarizing is key.
Condense it. Make it yours. What's 4?
Fourth, memorize. Really commit that paragraph to memory. Read it aloud, write it out multiple times, test yourself. The goal is instant recall, like knowing a phone number.
Drill it in. Okay, 5.
Fifth, review. Look at your memorized solutions regularly, daily if you can. Use flashcards, a checklist, whatever works. Consistency keeps them sharp and ready.
Keep the toolkit organized. And the last step.
And finally, sixth, apply. When you face a new problem, consciously pause and ask yourself, do any of my memorized patterns apply here? Can they guide my thinking? Check your mental library first.
Don't just dive in blind. See if you have a tool.
Exactly. You'll often be surprised how a known pattern, or maybe combining a couple of them, gives you that crucial starting point.
This whole approach feels really empowering.
Yeah.
It's not just about mindless copying, like you said. The Force calls it turning your brain into a remix machine. I like that.
It's a great analogy.
You're absorbing these useful patterns, understanding them, and then applying them, adapting them like a pro would. It seems like a small shift in how you study, but it feels like it could change everything about how you solve problems and how quickly you learn.
It really can accelerate things. So the takeaway is, next time you're studying something, don't just aim to understand the solution. Understand it, yes, but then take that extra step, memorize the core pattern, the paragraph,
Right.
and then just watch. See how much faster you start tackling new related problems. You start thinking more like an expert.
It reminds me of that final thought from the Source. The best problem solvers don't start from scratch. They start from memory.
Powerful idea, isn't it?
It really is. So maybe the challenge for everyone listening is try building just one pattern paragraph today. Pick a problem, learn it, write it, memorize it, see how it feels.
A small step to potentially unlocking a much smarter way to learn.
You might just discover your smartest self yet.